Have you guys ever wanted to get involved in these videos and get your own say in what happens or what doesn't? You finally get the chance today. Now, I'm going to be asking you guys one question and one question only. What move should Naruto use in the finale of this series, next part, to defeat the Akatsuki? Like, what should be the final move? It's just a really OP move with a black hole that I could use to defeat like Obito and all that stuff. Comment it down below, and the best one that I see will be getting a shout out in the beginning of next video. That said, enjoy.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
They immediately start the battle off by rushing in at each other, and Naruto, not wanting to waste any time whatsoever, would throw a kunai straight at the direction of the Hyuga clan member and a black hole like a pretty decent distance away that would actually cause the man to get sucked in towards that direction, not being able to control his movements because his arms, legs, and body are literally all getting dragged to one singular point. And the kunai itself would also be getting like pushed that way, right? So the Hyuga clan member can't dodge at all. He can't form the rotation or anything. And Naruto's kunai just went straight to the direction of the Hyuga clan member's throat, right? And so immediately Naruto like turns on the black hole and off. Like, I don't think you guys understand how fast Naruto does this. Like, black hole on, black hole off. Like, it's literally instantaneous how fast Naruto has to do it for these movements to work. Because if it was like 3 seconds, the people would already get sucked into the black holes. But what would end up happening is because the kunai's trajectory would be so on point, the kunai would end up going straight through the guy's neck, or so Naruto would think. But because this member is a Hyuga clan member, he's able to see everything happening and would slightly be able to move his neck out of the way, causing for his neck to pretty much start like getting nicked and like for a little bit of blood to pretty much start dripping out a little bit, but nothing vital got hit. He would proceed to hold his hand over his throat and be like, "You don't understand, kid. That village, it's keeping dark secrets." As you know, from here, he starts stumbling and the blood just starts like spouting out everywhere. And Naruto just watches as the member just falls onto the ground. And Naruto would think to himself that, it's not for him to decide whether it's dark or not. And, Naruto's like, I hold dark secrets, but, that doesn't mean that people get to call me dark or anything like that. And so Naruto just thinks to himself, it's whatever. He grabs the body and takes it back to the village, knowing that the Chunin exams is the next day. Eventually, what ends up happening is Naruto finds himself in the Chunin exams tower, right? And when he does, Naruto actually would end up walking towards the direction of a genjutsu. Now, Naruto, knowing that this is a genjutsu, would easily be able to dispel it, telling his his team members that this is a genjutsu, and they're all like, "Oh, right." Like, Sasuke just acts as if he knew. Sakura's like, "Yeah, it's genjutsu. Like, I knew that." Like, Naruto, of course I knew that. And from here, what would pretty much end up happening is afterwards they end up making their way towards the direction of the drill room, where on their way there they actually get encountered by Rock Lee. Now, Rock Lee would be looking at Sasuke and would be like, "Sasuke Uchiha, I wish to fight you. You are the rookie of the year." And from here, he turns to Naruto and says, "And you, I do not know who you are, but you seem very powerful." And, Sasuke being like, yeah, like, I might as well, show this little bushy-browed kid what's up. He's all like, "Yeah, sure, like, I'll fight you." And what would end up happening is Sasuke gets absolutely folded. Like, this man, Sasuke, gets embarrassed. Bro literally gets his ass beat in front of the girl who likes him. And then that same girl proceeds to reject the guy who beat Sasuke's ass. It's crazy, but it happens. Like Lee took an ultimate L here. Like, he literally beat the bro's ass and then still got rejected. Like, bro, she really loves him. Like, that's how Sakura loves him. Like, bro literally got beat up in front of her, But regardless, that's not for me to decide. But anyways, what pretty much happens after this is they make their way towards the exam room and they pass. Okay, I really don't like this part. It's really cool to watch because it's like, wow, it's like really interesting, the dynamics of the Chunin exams test part. But to explain a test, that's boring. And I know you guys don't want to hear that. So skipping over to the area where Anko comes crashing in through the window, she's like, "All right, maggots, you guys all need to line up and get together. Meet me outside." And all of them go outside, and Anko begins to explain the rules of the Chunin exams. And from here, right towards the end, she's all like, all right, sign these real quick. And everybody's like, what are these for? And Anko just goes, oh, these are just some slips to pretty much say that if you guys die, then we're not liable. And some of the contestants would be like, yo, like, what do you mean if we die? Like, we can die? And she's like, yeah, but you can still not participate if you want. So a bunch of the people who are like, yo, I'm not trying to die, they end up stepping out. And those are the smart ones. Because imagine being like a filler character and not stepping out, right? Like me personally, I'm stepping out too. Like I would be in such a bad mood if I ended up encountering somebody like Gaara or even Team 7, right? Because number one, Gaara, he's crazy, he's bloodlusted. Number two, we also got Orochimaru there. What if he encounters me and tries to like touch me or something? And then we got Sasuke with the curse mark, who's probably gonna go crazy and try to break my arms. Like I'm good off that, bro. I'm good off that, little bro. But anyways, what pretty much ends up happening is like they make it into the forest, right? Naruto goes out to take a leak, right? Like we're good so far, right? I haven't lost y'all. I probably lost you. But anyways, like they're pretty much doing their journey, right? And what ends up happening is like they eventually like all like split up, and a gigantic snake just comes rushing in at Naruto, right? Now this snake is massive. Like this snake is literally the same size as something big that I have, right? It's like pretty big. And that would be my desk, right? Like I have a pretty big desk, but that's besides the point. And what pretty much ends up happening at this point is that the snake will rush Naruto, right? Now Naruto is like, I'm not dealing with this, and he just like immediately black hole on top of the snake. Now this black hole sucks the snake in, and some trees that would be there in that area would get sucked in as well, right? And this snake would just proceed to get like literally eaten by the black hole, as that black hole would grow massive in size, and Naruto just closes it. He closes it immediately. And from here, bro literally just wipes off his stick, his meat stick, and he makes his way back towards Team 7, where once he's there, he notices that another ninja would be trying to get their scroll. Naruto, as soon as he sees this, would think to himself that, they're just going to take him out and then they can go on with their day, right? And, Naruto just thinks to himself, all right, look, you have one of two choices, buddy. You can either give us your scroll or I'm going to have to take you down. And Orochimaru would laugh as he's looking at Naruto, who just doesn't even look very remarkable whatsoever. But Naruto, he's like, all right, like I literally told you. And from here, Naruto just goes, and immediately a black hole would appear behind Orochimaru, which would be which would start sucking him towards that direction. And Orochimaru would try his absolute hardest not to go there, but he's getting dragged like a doll, right? And Orochimaru is like, what is this ability, right? And he pretty much has to substitute to make it out, as Naruto would pretty much just watch and be like, how did he escape that? Like only high level ninjas would be capable of substituting out of that situation. Like not even Kakashi, you know what I mean? And from here, Naruto's like, who are you? Like you're not on the level of a Genin. Like no Genin would have been able to survive that. Not even the one from the Sand Village probably would have made it out of that attack. And Orochimaru says, I don't know what that was, what kind of Kekkei Genkai or jutsu that was, but I must have it. And he licks his lip and then looks towards the direction of Naruto, which Naruto's just kind of like looking at Orochimaru, as from here he lunges at him, right? Like regurgitating the sword out of his throat as he's lunging at Naruto. And Naruto, he pretty much holds a black hole on top of Orochimaru, and on the bottom, as Orochimaru gets ripped in half. Like Naruto, as soon as he saw the sword action and all that stuff, and like the creepiness of this individual, Naruto just knew that this was Orochimaru and that he was not going to be winning this fight if he didn't use that black hole ability. So Naruto knows, like, you can't mess around with an S rank level shinobi. Naruto, like, he had no other choice but to use the black hole. And even though Naruto didn't want to, because like I said, he doesn't like killing people with it, Orochimaru was one of those rare exceptions where Naruto had no other choice. Orochimaru would literally get torn in half, and Orochimaru has no way of answering to this. Like, Orochimaru literally was ripped from bottom to top. Like, the gravitational force was so powerful, Orochimaru's body got torn in half and sucked in only to disappear. And Sasuke would watch as he would think to himself that he was literally terrified of that ninja, and Naruto killed him instantly. Like, Sasuke looks at Naruto's direction and would just think to himself, like, like how strong is Naruto? Like, is Naruto stronger than my brother? Like, that's literally what Sasuke would be thinking to himself, right? And he just wonders how Naruto got that jutsu, right? Naruto would actually be asked by Sasuke, like, how did you obtain that power? And Naruto just looks at him and says that he was born with it, that when he turned 4 years old, he awaken it someday, and it's just one of those Kekkei Genkais, that just like he has a Sharingan and nobody else is capable of using those jutsus that he has, Naruto has the abilities of those black holes, and he won't be able to copy that either. And Sasuke just thinks to himself, damn it, like if only he had something like that, he would probably be capable of defeating his older brother Itachi, right? And ultimately what ends up happening because of this is we get a scene where they march towards the tower. Now, they make their way towards the tower of the Chunin exams, and what would pretty much end up happening is they're there early, right? So they're pretty much given rooms to rest in, and with this, they would kind of just spend the next 2 days resting until finally everybody else would arrive. Now, keep in mind, Sasuke hasn't gotten the curse mark, so he's not getting a taste of that power yet, but it's probably going to be happening later. But still, like, Sasuke hasn't gotten a taste of the curse mark, Sasuke hasn't unlocked the Sharingan, and those are two very bad things for Sasuke, because Sasuke wants power, and now he's getting it even slower than he would have been in the original. So the second that Orochimaru comes back from the dead, Sasuke is taking that bait like a fish underwater, like a moth to a flame. Like, it's bad. But regardless, what would pretty much end up happening is Sasuke would be in the room and, he would just be thinking to himself how weak he is. He tries to train during these days and he would push himself hard. And what would end up happening is eventually everybody makes it, leading Hiruzen to have some preliminaries, as Naruto during these last 2 days was just having one thing on his mind, like secrets of the Hidden Leaf Village. Like Hiruzen knows what Naruto did when he was young, right? But now Naruto's confused by what he means. Like, he told him something about the Uchiha clan and how it's a dark secret. And Naruto wants to ask Hiruzen, but Naruto just thinks to himself, like, who is he to ask, like, to question the Hokage on what happened with them, right? But Naruto's thinking about it heavily, because it's like, why would he bring that up and say the Hidden Leaf Village? So now Naruto's thinking that the village might have had something to do with it. And Naruto ends up actually asking Sasuke about the massacre of the Uchiha clan, right? He asks if he thinks that the village had anything to do with it. And when he asked that, Sasuke he's like, what? No, like, it was just my brother, which would lead Naruto to be like, oh, all right, so it was in the village. So Naruto rests easy, but after Naruto asks him that, Sasuke is the one who starts thinking about it as well, where he's like, did the village have something to do with the death of my family? Like, did the village have some part in it? Like, was it the village that forced like Itachi to do it or something like that? And that's what Sasuke would be thinking, but he would disregard that because it's like his brother's evil. Like, there's no other option to that, right? Like, his brother said he just wanted to test the limits of his strength. And, Sasuke's now kind of like, was it the village? But most of him is just telling him, nah, like, Itachi's scum, Itachi's garbage. Like, it wasn't even the village. Like, it had to have been like Itachi, like it was all Itachi. And Sasuke just kind of pins it down to it was all Itachi and there could be no other explanations. And so that's pretty much what Sasuke ends up going with, right? And what ends up happening following this is eventually the preliminary battles would start, and Naruto versus Kiba would be the first battle up. Now, Naruto, knowing Kiba, would not decide to use a killing-like attack, so Naruto takes it easy on Kiba, and instead of using some high-level tuning like jutsu type of thing, Naruto simply rushes at Kiba and would pretty much end up grabbing Akamaru, right? He holds him hostage, where Akamaru is just in a hostage situation, and Naruto holds a kunai to Akamaru, chipping off some of his fur as he looks to Kiba and tells him that unless he wants his dog to get it, he needs to quit the exams now. And Kiba's just forced to be like, I surrender. From here, Kiba looks at Naruto and says, that was a dirty trick, Naruto. He's like, if you had any honor, you would have done something else other than that. And Naruto looks to Kiba and he's like, I had no other choice. It was either that or I most likely killed you. And Kiba would be like, what happened to you? Like, you were so different before you left for that year. And Naruto says that, things change. And Kiba's like, yeah, obviously you did. As from here, Sasuke goes up, defeats his member, and all of the rest of the matches go down just like they would in canon. Naruto would feel some type of way between the battle between Hinata and Neji, but since Hinata isn't even kind of nice to him, she kind of is rude, Naruto doesn't say anything to Neji, and he simply thinks to himself that him versus Neji, it's just another fight. Naruto continuing on forward would pretty much end up having an entire month to train. And Naruto still is going to be the godson of Jiraiya. So when Jiraiya does end up arriving back at the village about a week into Naruto's training, Naruto would have just been creating some new black hole techniques. And when Jiraiya arrived and pretty much sought out Naruto, Naruto would be like, oh, so you're Jiraiya. Like I've heard stories about you. Like, of course I'll train with you. And Naruto's just like, you're a bit pervy, but you know, you're still a legendary Sannin. And so he still hears out Jiraiya, and he still actually learns the Rasengan way earlier than he does on canon. And Naruto learning the Rasengan would be something very interesting to him, because it's like the Rasengan is it's so strange. Like, Naruto would have never expected an attack like that to be a thing, but now Naruto's going to be able to use that in tandem with his black hole abilities to maybe create something like powerful, where he can create a sort of black hole Rasengan, right? Where it would be like, if he hits you with the Rasengan, like you just get absorbed into it, like a close range black hole, right? Something like that. He's just thinking, or I don't know. But basically, bottom line is Naruto is capable of, you know, getting a lot stronger, and he does learn the summoning jutsu from Jiraiya, which would also be another benefit that, you know, Naruto does get from training with Jiraiya. And what would end up happening because of this is Naruto would actually continue on getting stronger and stronger and stronger by the day. And during the time that he would actually be training during the exams, Naruto makes his way towards the, you know, the training area, right? And when Naruto's in the training area, he kind of is just wandering around as he sees this girl like picking flowers. Now Naruto would be like, is that Ino? And Ino just looks at Naruto, and, you know, she waves and smiles, and, you know, she kind of just looks away quickly as Naruto turns to Ino, and he would think to himself, like, what's she doing picking flowers? Until Naruto remembers, oh right, her family owns a flower shop. And, you know, Ino would just continue looking at Naruto, and Naruto walks over there asking her, you know, like what she's up to. Ino's like, oh, you know, just picking some flowers, you know, for me, for my personal collection. And Naruto's like, that's pretty neat. Like, are they special or something? And Ino just goes on a full ramble talking about flowers, with Naruto like not caring, but pretending to care, right? And from here, Ino then like looks at him and says, what are you doing? And Naruto says that he was coming over here to train. Ino says she should probably be doing some of that as well, considering she lost to Sakura. And Naruto says that she shouldn't be ashamed, that he was actually responsible for training Sakura up to that level. Ino would look at him and be like, really? So could you maybe do some of that for me? You know, and she starts using her, you know, quote unquote feminine charm to rizz up Naruto, making him want to train her, right? And, you know, Ino just kind of looks at the direction of Deku, and she would just like kind of start immediately like implying like, oh, you know, like if you help me, you know, I could help you out. You know what I mean? And Naruto's like, I don't know what you mean by that, but like, I'll help you. And, you know, Naruto and Ino pretty much start training for an entire like five days, right? And during those 5 days, Naruto and Ino would actually get close to each other, where Naruto would feel comfortable enough to tell Ino about, you know, how the fact that he changed and, you know, he hasn't really been the same since the day that he killed those 5 kids, right? And now that they're both ninjas, Ino would be like, that's heavy, but you shouldn't like judge yourself for that. Like you had no control over it. Like, let's say I mind transferred into somebody and then I never was able to get back into my body. That's not my fault. Like, I didn't know how to control the ability. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I killed somebody by accident with my powers. I wouldn't stop using it and like think that I can't use it ever again just because of that. Like, you have to learn, grow, and become stronger. You know, it's your trump card. And Naruto says that he knows that, but he still hasn't quite gotten over it. And, you know, Ino, you know, she sits over him and she's like, oh, well, you should get over it. Like, it shouldn't define who you are that you killed people like when you were a kid. Like, now we're ninjas. Like, we do that all the time, and we have to learn to not let that hold us back. Like, we live in that kind of world, and it's either be killed or get killed out here. And Naruto thinks about that. And, you know, he kind of remembers how those kids, like, they were going to kill him. So why should he feel bad for being the one who killed them, right? It was either them or him. And he made that choice. It wasn't an easy choice, but Naruto had to make that choice, right? And, you know, Naruto starts thinking about that alongside Ino. And he would pretty much end up thanking her for that, like, slow-key realization. As, you know, Ino actually started liking Naruto during this time. And eventually, we would find ourselves in the stadium as Naruto would be facing off against Neji. Now, Neji, who would actually be there, would pretty much just be in the ring, right? And he looks to Naruto with a cheesy smirk on his face as he says, "You should quit right now that you're up, right? Because now you're finally gonna be put in your place, Naruto. Like, it's your destiny to lose to me. I'm a prodigy and you're a nobody." As from here, Naruto says, "I'm not too sure about that." And Neji immediately starts the battle off by trying to get closer to Naruto, but Naruto would create a black hole that would just keep like Neji at bay, where he like pulls Neji back so far that he's at the edge of the stadium, and even the people in the crowd would have actually gotten pulled slightly by that black hole, right? Or actually not heavily, but Naruto was able to turn it off so fast that they didn't get like dragged down into the stadium, right? And so what pretty much ends up happening is Neji would question what that ability is, right? And Naruto says not to worry about it, as Naruto would proceed to actually use a black hole on the ground to just drag Neji into the earth. And it's an ability that he actually worked with Ino, where she suggested it, like kind of like planting flowers. Couldn't he theoretically plant people? And Naruto found it so funny that he and Ino worked on it, and he literally planted Ino into the ground using a black hole to drag her into the earth, to like pretty much drive her into it and just keep her like stuck in it. And that's what he did to Neji. From here, he just looked at Neji and said, "Do you give up?" And like, keep in mind, Neji is in the earth, just unable to move completely. Like, he literally can't do a thing. So Neji just literally has to quit, because there's no if, and, or buts about it. Neji just lost. And from here, the proctor goes, "Naruto Uzumaki is the winner," as you just hear one person cheering in the stands, and it's Ino, and she'd be like, "You go, Naruto!"